Yes, abalabi baffe ab'Ekyoto International mwebale kubeera nga mwekuumirako era nga enkola eya door to door oba village to village oba district to district mobilization era nga yensonga etuleese nga PP front. Ekyo nno ekigambo PP front ogonno nagwo mukago nga bana struggle mwenna bwe mujja muteekawo enkola gye muyitiramu naye mukago mwe mwegattira era nga PP front tageti yaayo yakubeera nga etalaaga ebitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo nga ekwatagana ne ba coordinators ba people power okubeera nga bongeramu amaanyi kwongera ba coordinator okubazaamu amaanyi eyo mu bitundu byabwe gye bakiikirira. So PP front ekola omulimu ogw'okubeera nga esomesa ba locals b'ebitundu oba okwongera okusponsoringa ba coordinator b'ebitundu basobole okubeera nga bafuna amaanyi n'okwongera okuddamu amaanyi ne bamanya ti struggle eno teri Kampala yokka wabula n'ab'e Kampala babafaako nnyo era babalowoozaako n'okwongera okulaga omukwano ogwo. Naye ng'ensonga enkulu ennyo tugendereramu okubeera nga tuzzaamu ba coordinator amaanyi abo mu bitundu ebyenjawulo n'okwongera okubasomesa batya bwe balina okubeera nga batambuzaamu enjiri ya struggle. So ekyo kituwa amaanyi nabo kibawa amaanyi mu bitundu yonna gye tugezezaako okubeera nga tukikola. Eruweero twakikola twazaako trip ey'Ekabaale era nga omukulu ayebale twakwatagana naye ne tusomesa ba coordinators abo abasobola okugenda mu ba locals ne babeera nga nabo basomesa ne tubalekera ku materials owa calendars posters mu mbeera bwetyo. Ekyo nno PP front kyekola. Enkola zino nnyingi waliwo eya door to door kwe kubeera nga otuuka inju ku nju naye enkola ya door to door ekolebwa erina kukolebwa mu bitundu eno naddala gye tutogera lulimi lwayo kati nga Bukedi ya district Teeso sub-region gye tulimu mu kaseera kano era nga tuli mu kitundu ekidongole sub-county tuli mu sub-county ya Kidongole mu era nga tuli ku ssomero lye bayita Katekwani primary school era nga wano we tuli nga tuzze eno munda twakyamidde erinnya amanya geno mu nsonyiweko amazibu. So gye twakyamiddeeyo okudda eno mu sayidi eno eya Kidongole era nga tuvuza akatemerero kalungi kawanvuwanvuko era nga ekituleese kwe kubeera nga tugenda kutuula meeting ne ba coordinators ab'ebitundu bino ebyenjawulo tubawe ku material tubawe ku bakalenda tubasomese baddeyo babeere n'amaanyi mu field eyo gye bagenda okubeera nga bayitira. Mu bino twayise ne tiimu ey'abantu bangi era nga erimu Moshimo Joy Strong Shifla Shifi Shafik Semaisima nze mwenyini kamakogera omukulu Isabirye abo bonna bannayuganda abeewaayo okubeera nga bakola omulimu ogw'obutaweera n'okutambuza enjiri mu buli ango yonna eya Uganda. Okuzzaako katono ekitundu kya Teeso sub-region oba Bukedia kyendabye bagezaako okulima mpola mpola naye ng'embeera yaayo si mbi nnyo ate si nnungi nnyo wabula okusigira ekifaananyi yonna gye tuzze tuyise bali awo half embeera si mbi nnyo naye nga nte si nnungi nnyo wabula nga embeera gye ndabye nti bakyalina embeera y'obusiisira obw'essubi era nga ge mayumba naye nga kati bagenda bakyusa nga badda mu nkola eya bulijjo. Abantu baayo balabika obutaba nnyo beebafu nnyo kyekisinza okunsanyusa n'ekitundu at least kipromisinga abantu baayo mu ndabika yaabwe. So awo nno nkusiigiddemu akatono akafaananyi yes era nga awoolaba ku ssomero eryo we tugenda okubeera nga tutuuliza meeting essaawa zino ate tuveewo tugende mu region endala. Ekyo nno bwekityo bwe tukikola nti bwe tukwata Teeso sub-region tusalawo ne tugamba nti tugenda kukuba meeting oba nnya mu trip eno nga ba coordinator bano ba coordinatinga mu bitundu ebyenjawulo abantu bali be ba coordinatinga baddemu amaanyi ogonno gwe mulamu omukulu n'okuba wa material owa calendars ne posters bagende ku ba locals amulumba mugambe ronda kyagulanyira afanna bwati ngayogera lulimi lwe ngera amuwane ku kalenda eyo nno yenkola ffe gye tutunuulidde nnyo okubabangula n'okubawa ku material basobole okulumba ground nga nabo bayina amaanyi. So n'olw'ensonga eyo mwe mwenna twetaaga material muyitirivu nnyo, twetaaga posta mpitirivu nnyo, ate ebyo nga tubyekolera ffe nga ffe. Twebaza WhatsApp group eyitibwa Bobby My President. Omwo nno mulimu abantu bangi abamu diaspora eyo naffe abali wano e Uganda ne tiimu ze endala zonna okuva twerondamu nga group tusobola okubeera nga tukwasaganya ensonga zino era nga naye ng'okusingira ddala kansonso waze group eyo eya Bobby My President. Yes, okubeera nga etubeereramu nnyo mu buli trip. Twakikola Mbale, twakikola Luweero era kati tuli mu Teeso sub-region era nga tuddako trip eddako ye Fort side eyo yonna yo tubeere nga tukwatagana ba coordinators kubazaamu amaanyi. Eyo nno kye kifaananyi kye nkusiigidde gwe wenna tukwetaaga okubeera nga weeyunga ku ttiimu eno ya PP Front okubeera nga tukwasaganya omulimu guno. Tugenda kubyekolera bino ffe nga ffe bannayuganda tuze tukyogera ffe bannayuganda tugenda kubyekolera era nga yembeera eyo etuleese eno. So twetaaga kalenda, twetaaga posters, tubikole nga bannayuganda. So katugende mu meeting tulabe ate embeera nga bwekwasaganyizibwa.
And we build courage amongst ourselves. We learn from you, you learn from us, and see how we can really work together in unseating Museveni, a dictator, from his seat, from the seat that he has made his. You know, the business of unseating the dictator is not easy. Some of you, I don't know, how many have tested tear gas here? Some are still virgins, they have not yet tested. It is coming, my brothers and sisters. And we pray you receive it gladly and warmly, because it is the baptism all of us receive. I want to thank my brother who has been coordinating. We know we are supposed to come earlier, but you know, coming here it is very costly. And we had to wait and patiently collect money until we could manage to get transport. But we thank you all for coming. I'm going to request my comrades here to introduce themselves from my right-hand side, up this side.
People power, our power, people power. My name is Rokono Shifra. I come from Kampala and I work at the People Power Secretariat.
Not please, what is the position? Don't just.
I'm a general administrator at the People Power Secretariat. People power, our power, our power, people power, NUP, everywhere, NUP, Chagulani, my president, Chagulani, our president, Chagulani, our president. I welcome you all. Thank you guys for coming, and thank you for preparing so that the meeting is going strong. And I'm on the High Council of Groups. That is at I work from what's the welfare department. Thank you.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Thanks for coming. My name is Bukomeko Ali Shafiq. I come from Kampala. I'm a member of People Power Front.
Thank you very much. Sorry.
They're still there.
Yoganoi, how do they say that? Thank you for coming in Teeso. Yalama Bunere. Okay. Now my name is Uncle Kenneth. I am a social researcher. I live in Mbale, Jinja, and Kampala. But I happen also to work in Kumi, in Aburituri. Okay. I am a People Power athlete, a lover of a good Uganda. Okay. So I want to say thank you for welcoming us here.
My name is Smaisma. I'm an activist for change.
Is that all? Yes.
Thank you. Now, for this one, we have visitors. They are just passing by to say hi. So, thank you. Thank you very much. That's his name, Sam Indians.
Oh, honorable.
Yeah.
So, for your honorable, you use English.
I do welcome you. Once I urge that let the meeting go on with unity and peace.
Thank you.
We are there with you. And our people from Kampala and Musmuka know the place, and you know how it is remote, and you know how the roads are. Then you go back and say, really, if it's a change, it needs to come also. I thank you all, and I wish you a good meeting. We cannot really help people. We have some commitments that we can take.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. We have heard from the LC1. We wish you that's what he says, play at home. We have no problem with him. We're very certainly sure that NUP is a duly registered political party in Uganda. Much as with NRM, he has got no problem. Let people be allowed to express their views, that's what he told me. So I asked him to come and say hi. And indeed, he has honored my invitation. He has come to say hi. So feel at ease. My name is Paul Okiria, once again. I happen to be the district coordinator, NUP, Ukadia chapter. And I'm honored to be with you today. Before you are the members of NUP who are working with me day and night tirelessly to see to it that they spread the gospel about NUP, to see to it that we recruit more and more so that we advocate for change as a team, and we hope to deliver a reasonable vote to Honorable for the President, Chagulai. We go back to Kampala, tell the people of Kampala that Bukedia is ready and Bukedia is really willing to. They are working day and night. Amidst all that you're going through, I know there is a lot of hate, there is a lot of intimidation, there are so many challenges going on everywhere throughout the country, because NUP is a genuine threat. It's the only threat that this regime has. So even us who are here, as we are here right now, I am certainly convinced that somehow, somewhere, the district is not at peace with us, because they're afraid of engaging us, they're afraid of intimidating us. It's so early, I don't know why, but because they thought, like you had earlier on, that Bukedia is purely yellow. So now that they know that Bukedia is not purely yellow, it has become a problem. So we are now diggers to the yellow people. However, there are so many out there. I want you to help us fight the sickness of fear, because so many out there support us, so many out there are with us, but because of that intimidation, they fear to openly identify like a few of us who are here. So we need your support. Every now and then we need to communicate. We need to consult one another. Where there are challenges, you help us. If you can't help us, then you will also, I'm sure, will direct us to where we can get the help from. With us here in Bukedia, we have a duly functional team, the district executive. I think it's only one person that is not around, but I'm sure he's on the way because he called saying he's coming. The general purpose, as to why I talked of my executive, is just that we started functioning a few weeks back, because all along we have been disorganized. That I must not be ashamed to tell you. But when we contacted the Sorority team, the regional level, they have been of great help to us. And right now I see that there is a lot of unity. And we are growing, we are developing, and we are now gaining experience. We would have taken you to a much more nearer place, but because of security, we chose to be here. Because by the time people begin thinking of coming to attack us from Bukedia, I'm sure we should have finished whatever we are meant to share. So I got a communication from the region that you're receiving a team of visitors from Kampala. I was wondering how we would manage. When I contacted my team, they are like, we are good to go. I got the encouragement. When they told me so, we mobilized. Others are still coming. So I would only cut my communication by saying that we expect to hear much from you. Otherwise, for us as Bukedia, we have decided we are willing and we are going to work for NUP, and we are going to mobilize for the President, Robert Chagulani, and see to that at least he gets a 50% vote in Bukedia. Otherwise, for now, I will end there. Throw the opportunity to the regional coordinator to say a word and perhaps continue from there. I also want to sit down and listen and take notes. Thank you.
It would have been very nice if the executive of Bukedia had been introduced. Just briefly, you could just stand up wherever you are, and then let the colleagues get to know you who are helping Bukedia. Just stand up. Thank you. Just start. Once more, my name is George William. I happen to be, let me call myself the interim coordinator for Teeso region. Why do I choose to use the word interim? There is an element of confusion at Secretariat. They keep sending people here based on the reports they give them in Kampala. Somebody gets his money from wherever he gets it, jumps on a bus, comes to Kampala, meets anybody there and says, there is no people power there, those guys are confused, we don't know them. They say, okay, now you go be the coordinator. Wherever they get their materials and information, we do not know. When they come down here, these same coordinators call and say, oh, wait, I thought you were the one. Where is this guy coming from? You try to follow up, the guy says, I was sanctioned from Kampala. Shifra there would bear your witness. In a meeting we had with the president, for the first time he stood up in the meeting. And these were his words. He said, Honorable, I would not condone violence against other women. Why? I told him to his face, I said, Chagulani, if you want me to beat somebody from Central, let Fauda Madada repeat what she has done in Teeso. All together. Fauda, from wherever she got her courage, akatoka Kampala, she came to Zerere. She told me, George, I'm in Teeso. I said, please, for courtesy, pass Sorority, let me tell you who to deal with when which where. Zerere. She went to Zerere, did her work, Ghetto TV picked up a few clips. People from Teeso said, "Oh, wait, where were you while this was happening?" I had to lie. I said, "Oh no, I told her to go and work with other people because I was going to be ashamed." Just imagine that kind of intolerance. In people power, the principle as to why we are fighting NRM is the fact that they do not respect institutions and procedure. Why would we borrow that nonsense into a family that is based on unity and procedure? Why? All these young people you see here, some of them had given up politically. They had given up. Because for us here in Teeso, we are most likely the last thought of in this country. And that is indicated clearly in the recently released UBOS report. It states in Teeso 40.1 is poor. 40.1. Yet before 1987, we were the second richest economy in the whole country. By history, we had cows more than those that were in Uganda as a country. We had over 1 million heads of cattle. When they came in, all that was taken. Now they are killing our land by giving us to plant oranges, manya eucalyptus, giving us fake seeds. All our indigenous seeds have gone distinct. As Teeso, we are in this struggle not because we love Chakula. We are in it because we see sense in what he's trying to do. He identifies with what we go through. And when we choose to come and support the movement, let nobody in Kampala take us for granted. Because we are in this thing not for positions, neither are we here for money, because we are already used to our problems. By the way, we are okay. That's why you see some of us are here, we're not tackling because it is a normal day business. Very normal. NRM has divided us. That is why we try to say, can we for once, as the young generation of Teeso, regardless of where you come from, what you do, can we come together for just 6 months? We are here, we are pretending to be together for only 6 months. Only 6. But in our pretense, we are sure if we spoke one language, as this team, we will be able to send a message, one, to the powers that be, that are trying to maintain the status quo, and also to the Secretariat. Administrator will bear me witness. I left the official WhatsApp group of Global Power 2 years ago. And I told them in Kampala, if I step here, it is until you give me a formal invitation. But for me to leave Soroti for Kampala, to come and meet you guys, we are the same. We are like the same grasshoppers in a bottle fighting to come out. You know? Because I'm sure even you, nobody pays you in Secretariat. So why should I come and fight with you then? Let me do my part here, while you do your part the other side. Now that you come, don't you think we're going to do something more better? Because now our two teams are connected. But if I kept moving to Kampala, instead of doing work here, who would you come and see here? Nobody. And I also told my friend Okiya, don't come to Soroti all the time, don't call me, do work. Today is able to deliver to us these very gallant soldiers who are willing to fight and stand for what we believe in. I think they deserve a hand clap. We do not come with promises of money and any other thing. But we come with a request for commitment as a Bukelia team. We will disappoint you. Sometimes you may call, I get my phone off. You want to say something very sensitive and my phone is off, that might be disappointing. You may get arrested and the lawyer may not be there to come and stand in for you. That will be disappointing. You may be attacked. That may be disappointing. But the question is, why in Global Power? What is your objective? For the first time as young people, can we engage in politics with an objective and a purpose? Let's not be in this classroom because I am there, Okiya is there, the Kampala team has come. Should be here because you think, deep inside your heart, you are in this thing, not because you want to show the guy in NRM that you are now here. No. That's why I keep telling you, even if you don't have a red beret, you don't have a t-shirt, you have no mask, you have nothing to identify you as a people power. Inside your heart, that is why we're looking at. Inside your heart. I can be putting on these things, these are just clothes. I can't justify my commitment until the day I do things that keep the movement moving fast. I was angry with a colleague from Paris called Anthony. He did his best to go and report me to Sulaiman and so many people. Told them I received 10 million from NRM, did this. I kept quiet. He recruited Omax, was it you? No, it was Richard. Oh, it was Richard. Richard was working with Anthony. But when we sat that young man down, we said, please, my brother, what did they tell you? He told, oh no, forget about it. We said, now, we are all a family. He said, I've been looking for guys. So he was able to join the team. And he also appreciated that if I was alone, maybe it would be hard. Even him, he would not be able to do it alone. All together. But today, look at them. They are working together. And this is, I thought, why they picked 5 people by region. They picked me with Honorable Haba Tariko, the MP for Soroti Municipality, Honorable Andrew Noseke for Soroti District, and Honorable Mero from Muria. All the 3 MPs. Not even a great thing in people power. They have never. They quit. They are not with us. Anthony has been with me, but his handicap is a young man like me. He doesn't have the money to move around. So we say, Anthony, what you do? Help us work on Palisa. Because that is home. You can move around there. And today, as we're traveling to this place, we saw a woman member of parliament coming up in Palisa. And that is something good. And we agreed, and Anthony, we said, can we stop the fighting for positions? Because we are all volunteers. For me, people power didn't make me. I was already a councillor before people power was even born. These people come to my shop and they know I can earn a living. I'm not even here for money. So I said, let's stop the fighting and do what brought us here. This young man is a doctor. This young man is an accountant. This young man is a lawyer. I am a senior for Liba. Altogether, I got my first formal certificate from UCC 2017 in accounting. But these guys have said, lead us, and we walk. And today we are here. They're not saying, Georgie, for me I know more than you do. But they have been able to believe in what I'm trying to do. The same way we believe in the guy they say got the F9. In Kampala, it's called the child brain. Even in this failure, we see sense. That is what we are looking for. We're not looking at the color of your cloth, the type of the woman you have. No. We're looking at what you believe. Can it help us? Young people who are here. Let nobody lie us that somebody older than you can work for you. No. Your current and future is in your hands. So you decide to navigate the boat that you are in, either by enjoying what you're already enjoying now, or try to change the meal. For me as a poet, I choose to change the meal. I am tired. I am tired. How to get the bodies? So I want to pray that while we commit ourselves today, one more time, this meeting is an establishment to all of you. We will not stop coming to Bukedia. That I can assure you. And this is the second time I'm telling you this. We will always find a way to come here and meet you. For us in Soroti, I want to assure you, we don't have any external funder. Not even one bed donor. We don't have even what? One. We don't have. The activity we did 2 weeks ago around the region took us 2 million shillings. The same animals you see here. Picked up that small money, and we bought cars, and we bought fuel, and we bought food for us. Actually, for 1 week we ate cassava throughout the whole week. And water. Cassava throughout the whole week. Kampala has nothing to offer us. But we don't need to wait for Kampala for us to be able to do work. If Kampala is going to get anything for us, let whatever they get us on the way. If still they don't come, let us keep what? Moving. Nothing should derail us, nothing should deviate our commitment, and nothing should refocus what we want to do. I have nothing to offer you guys. I have nothing, completely nothing. But I want to assure you, my commitment is what I give you guys. We will die together, we will suffer together, and I am very certain, after 6 months, we will win together. That I'm very certain. Let us leave Kampala to live with the fights of the color, the sign, manyas, studies of Chakurani. Let them fight in Kampala. For us, let us do work here on ground. Mabirizi will finish with Katana. Let them do that in Kampala. Yeah? Bebe Kula is completely now kept quiet. He got his own laws. Yeah? Even here now in Bukedia, there is an LOC3 from Malera. Yeah? Did he tell you what I told him? I told him who called the boys Mbuara DC. I said, first of all, you are the chairman of security in Malera. How did the RDC know that boy before you knew him? Stop being stupid. That's what I told him. I said, for you and me, our language is the same. Oye and vote for me. You are not a soldier. If anybody dies in Malera through your nonsense, I'll look for you myself. Oh, honorable, you see, I said, police. Let RDC look for that boy without you in the picture. The second invitation, I am also coming for that meeting. You either throw me out or attend the meeting. I think the meeting will take place. They are still planning. Let them keep planning. When they call me again, we will come. They have no gun. After I will not come alone. I will come with another group of chokoras. Come on, both to endelay. Who dies and be eaten? No, I don't know. Since you're not a Kufa, you both you're now a goose. All together. So, without the external donations and so forth, we put up a committee in Sorority of 9 individuals. The 9 individuals are the interim committee as of now. All together? Yes. And those 9 people have their designated responsibilities. And that is the replica of the committee we gave to every district. Let the coordinator be a coordinator. Let the chairman be a chairman. Let finance be finance. Secretary be secretary. And don't assume an office that you know you cannot deliver. If you know you can't keep money safe, don't accept treasury. Because we shall want to look for the money we give you. Because the money we give you as a district is not from anywhere. I want to assure you before God. It is money I pick from my business. He picks from his business, from his business, from his business. This guy is a lawyer, but he shows that he's already. They even sacked him from his job. So if this guy gives 1,000 for Bukele, then you give the money, you're very stupid. And if you're here, I repeat again, you're very stupid. And I told you guys, if you come here and your work is to go and tell the Teeso to record a meeting, you are the worst idiot of all time. All together. If you come to these meetings and your work is to collect intelligence, my brother, having a number for RDC is not a privilege. The only thing you're going to do is to call RDC, tell the guy, Oko is here, do you know who's going to be paid? RDC, not your father. Moreover, with your air, you're working for the guy. You didn't get the appointment. You're very stupid. So if you are among us, leave us before we find out. Because when we find out, we shall put all the hunger we got on you and assure you here. Take it on record. If you are among us, and you're going to be their chums, the Justins, they don't die. They are all over. He has passed there. If I find out, we will look for you. I assure you. It's not a threat. It's a guarantee. So please be here and be here for you. If you don't want to be here, leave us alone with our stupidity. Leave us alone. Siku meetings of boardroom or district thing now. I also leave us alone. Yeah? For a long time, Teeso has been used as a breeding ground for political mileage. For how long must it take? We should make an alliance with Uganda now. Let them take the presidency. It's okay. But 25 years, we are coming for the presidency as Teeso. We are coming. We are doing this because we don't have what you have now. For you guys, you're united. You have some small money. We don't have. We also want to make money under your government, unite our people, and they come for you as mobilizers. Are we together? Our fathers were running out. When the calling came, did we run away? No. So why should we run away for Christ's sake? And run away. Now you go and hide. So we either remain standing or die kneeling. But for me, I choose to die standing. That is my motto. I won't die kneeling. And by the way, you kill me the back. You don't kill my face. I'll keep walking, you shoot the back, but I won't give you my face. I know they will call you for meetings. Well, who are you and so forth and what? Tell them we shall think about it. When they call you, tell them I'm still thinking about it. The 9-member committee of the district. You should be the last group to defect to NRM. The 9, you should be the last to defect to NRM. Leave all these people to defect. Let them go and eat money from money. Let them go. But the 9 of you, oh my goodness, it's going to be very big cast for you. Because you're the ones who brought us here. You're the ones who brought them here. Then you leave, you be the first to leave. My goodness, you are a mistake. You should have been aborted. So let everybody leave you, but the 9 of you remain standing. You will be the testimony for every young man to reckon on later. You will be part of the history of the young people who tried to topple a dictator. Don't be part of the first people to leave this struggle. I know the heat is getting on you. I understand. You have not yet got it because I got it every day. As we speak right now, I rent 5 houses in Soweto. 5. Sleep here today, sleep there, and then they sleep in the shop. But I don't need to tell you that stop, but that is the heat I am in. They call you for workshop, they say, Honorable Koyi, remove this guy. This guy is bad. You go to the radio talk show, they sack the person who has called you. That is the life I live in Soweto. This guy was beaten, he still has evidence of that. The next day he was sacked, he lost his phone, and then you live with him, like seriously? Man, you don't really like this guy. So show us some love and remain standing. And I told you guys, why you go out to mobilize people? Don't be the one beginning the campaign in the villages. Because you will go power. First they know us as hooligans, lumpens, and barbarians. If the argument is too much, colleagues, that you cannot maintain, walk away. Walk away. It's not a sign of losing, it's a sign of respecting your value. Should the NRM guy follow you? 1, 2, you'll be walking. Don't stop. If he runs, or you just run away. Don't, but if the guy catches you, and he slaps you, slap that guy. I want to be a barbecue ceremony. I don't like let him be the one to begin to fight him. But if he tries to beat you, my brothers here, beat that guy. Beat him, we shall treat him later. Lakini, pika huyo mtu ya halali. But don't be the one to stand there. You come to Soweto there, a policeman tried to catch me because of the mask. I don't know how the knife here, and I showed him how to cut you. He had to make me go. You told us to wait for government masks. I don't have a mask. They have not given me. I'm telling me to put on what? So I will cut you. And he had no gun. I said, I will cut you. You know, I'd crossed the road to buy a knife to eat a mango. So the guy was like, he stopped. And he had my coat. You know the coat? You buy from Kampala at 90,000. You also put on and put on your ramshackle clothes and you be a man. The guy said, I'll talk to you. You let me go. So sometimes you see, I want to give you this story. In the jungle, there are lions, right? Now a lion, if it's attacking you, it will first look at your eyes. Should you blink your eyes, you're gone. Blink your eyes, you're gone. So when you engage with the lion in the bush, look at that lion in the eyes without blinking. Then move, it will run. That's the second key. The same thing in politics. Soldiers are trained to terrify and scare you. Once they see you scared, they will repay you thoroughly. But if you stood your ground, you're not on wrong, they will discuss with you. Some of you know Major in Soroti. The guy cocked a gun on me, I was coming from a barrier. I was putting on people power, he didn't arrest me the other side. He went to go in my shop, I said, you should do well. Here, would you? He failed. So stand your ground. Number 2, we are working on a lawyer. We have one ready. But our lawyer is going to precisely deal with political cases. Defilement, don't call us. Stealing votes, don't call us. If you're a thug, don't call us. But because of the red, a red t-shirt, a red mask, saying people power, please call us. Those other cases, call a crowd meeting, fundraise money, get away from yourself. Don't bring us your problems. We have one guy in Soroti, we are saying we don't know how to deal with the guy. The whole town knows the guy, but he has posters of power. We don't know how to stop him. But we are working on how to stop him. We need people, right? I'm not everybody. Let's be honest. They are going to need at the last day. For kicking returning officers, those ones we need them the last day. But for now, we need pastors and marketeers to help us. But the chokoras, those ones, the last day. You know, the last day is very important. They will count your votes. They say people are 100. When they are reading it in the evening, they say people are 2. That's when we need the chokoras. Pick up your returning officer until he says the right thing. We're not going to let those guys do one of things in Kampala. Then from here, we shall go away. The day of elections, I want to thank you for the last complete election for the youth. You want the districts, even if the stamps came late from Kampala, you were able to give us candidates. The same spirit. We lost the youth election. I want to assure you, we lost. Because in Bukeja, what, 7? 25 in total now at parish now. They brought for us stamps on the 29th in the evening. The nominations were the same day. What would we do? And they gave us 480,000. We have, in Sorota, we have over 60-something villages. You have to kill somebody's son. So our focus now as Teeso, we are saying, we did not manage well that part. But the councillors, the LOC3s, the MPs, you try to now use that one, that performance, to know whether we are working or not. But for the youth, forgive us, we failed. That one we failed, but together with the secretary. Yeah, that is the truth. For Soroti's case, we only have 3. Only 3. And I'm not ashamed, I told them, I will tell you the truth. You failed us. You know, Soroti is one of the most empowered political districts in Teeso. It's the center. Everybody was ready to nominate on the 29th. And they nominated. Nobody nominated on the next day. You bring the stamp at 5.
That's what I thought. And that's why I've come to see with my own eyes. And when I hear him cry, I wish I can hear 100 more crying like him. Because the more anger we generate within ourselves, is the faster this regime or the dictatorship will fall. The more people we get who are tired, the better for us. Like he says, he has a shop, I have a business, all of us here have all had different jobs you are doing. The reason we come here is not because we are happy, it's not because we love looking at you, because we are not in a zoo, we don't come to a national park. The reason we left at 4 to start driving to this place is because of the pain we feel. Let me tell you this, there is no part in Uganda that is comfortable. When you talk about the poverty, and I look around here, and I compare with areas within central Uganda, just in Mbiti, just in Masaka and Rakai, my dear, you even think you're not poor. Just seeing an electric line passing over your house is a blessing. So poverty is spread across Uganda. Let me tell you, there is no area that is doing well. And no one comes or joins people power because we expect to be paid or you expect you expect to benefit immediately. But it's the pain that unifies us together. And the beauty about people power is one, you keep some of the blame on Kampala team. And I know people in this region, as someone who leads this region, also heap some blame on you. Is it your own making? Is it you with the solutions? I want to tell you this, we are not trying to absolve ourselves. The more you feel frustrated, the pain you feel, it's the same pain you feel in Kampala. But there is one thing, as a father, as a parent, you can't cry before your children. Because imagine you get a very huge problem here where you need help from Kampala, and you go there and you find Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Batona also crying. Then they'll tell you, my brother, I don't know what is happening. How would you feel? Obviously, you feel demoralized. Let me tell you, the business of challenging the dictators is never easy. When you come to think of what they have done to rule us for the past 35 years, you know what has happened. First of all, it began from 81 with the 5 years in the bush. That is the price they paid. They stayed in the bush for those 5 years. They ate raw cassava, they stole cattle, they did everything like they were roots, they were robbers and stuff like that. And we paid that with 35 years. However, this is our sort of rebellion, if I may say. This is our sort of challenging the dictatorship. I'm not saying that we are better off than them, but in reality, I think the war we are fighting is quite easier compared to the war they fought. Then, how are we taking advantage of the situation we are operating in? That is the challenge. Every problem you see within people power is because of you. And every solution you think can happen in people power must come from you. Partly, like I've told you, I work with the patriotism and training team led by Council Wise in Fumbira. At the same time with other departments. But there are times you sit and you brainstorm about the problem, why the anger, the fear. The anger is less, the fear is much. Why is it still much among these people who say we are people and we want change? First of all, maybe we are challenging the dictatorship in comfort. Imagine if we left here and went back and our homes and businesses and everything is closed and you have nowhere to run. That means facing the dictator will only be your option. You understand? However, right now we still have an option. That's why some even think crossing plenary. Others think of just sitting and wrapping their hands. Others think of just watching. That makes our work harder. Should we pray that the dictator becomes tougher and then burns all our houses and kills everything that we love so that we get angry enough to see that we push him out? Should that be our prayer? If it is not, then I think we better think and sit down and reorganize ourselves. How I wish every sub-county, there will be just some of us here will be the coordination team for just one sub-county. And if Brigadier has how many sub-counties? 16. And here I think we are around 50. So 16 times 50, that is about 900, 800. Let's assume something like 800. Imagine just one district to have coordinators and mobilizers who are active like all of us here, 800 of them.
Can I tell you something before you go on?
Yes, brother.
As we speak right now, next month, we shall be handing to Secretariat 23,000 coordinators. Next week, possibly by next week.
Then that is
apparently every sub-county you see here has 230 people.
That is beautiful.
So
that is beautiful. So, and the reason we are here today is not just to come and maybe see you, look at you, but we want to deliver a message that the pain and the problems you're going through are the problems across the region, across the country. Only that the dictator has managed to make us disunited, so that people in Eastern Uganda feel that maybe those in Central are doing well. But then when you walk and live within the Central and you go beyond Kampala, that is when you realize that even some parts are worse than past this side. When you go to North, same story. I was in Western Uganda just a few months ago, and we are shocked at the levels of poverty. No electricity, no hospitals, no passable roads. You find that the problems are cutting across. That means also our pain and bristle has to cut across. So comrades, we come here with a message of hope, telling you that you're not alone in this. All of us are suffering more or less the same fate. But to change the status quo, we must all come to an understanding and see the bigger picture. Most of the problems you go through in Uganda are leadership based. It's because we have a failure in leadership. And the failure in leadership is the reason why we came in to challenge the leadership. Actually, they're not even leading us, they're just ruling us. Most of the solutions and the problems are in the State House. That's why this team you see here, you guys, we are focusing majorly on the State House. We sort out the State House, many problems are going to be sorted. So every day, team, wake up to see that as the People Power Movement of the National Unity Platform, each action that we partake, each action that we do every day takes us closer to the State House. You have an option of 2026. How sure are you that we shall get there?
We'll be there.
We'll be there. But remember, this guy is going to be like a wounded lion. You know, we are chasing him terribly. You see how he's shrinking and losing shape. It's because we're giving him sleepless nights. Should we not finish him off in 2021, he's going to make a U-turn. And whoever cannot run fast or stand up before him, my dear, you feel the heat.
No, for him,
So-
what already done with him in 2021. What I said was that all want to be MPs here. But for the other guy, no, this one is done.
Okay, thank you so much for the correction. Come 2021, we don't want to see any more NRM. We don't want to see any more NRM. And by the way, we should not make it like a contest between actually NRM versus National Unity Platform versus People Power. No, it is basically a contest between the oppressors and the oppressors.
The conservatives and the progressives.
And the progressives.
Yeah.
Those who are doing well, and some of us who feel that we are suffering. And one thing for sure, those who are suffering are the majority. So our biggest role and responsibility is collecting all those who are suffering, so that we can turn against those who are making us suffer. But if you fall for these crumbs, those who are making us suffer that they are throwing around, and you fall for them, my dear, you're just prolonging your suffering. It's like when you go to a clinic and you know for sure you'll be injected, but you keep kicking around, but at the end of the day, even after kicking around, you'll be injected. So when you pick these small droplets off the table as they are eating, and you think that is enough to make you feel comfortable, my dear, you're just prolonging what is inevitable. The only solution is we should chase Museveni and his government out of State House, and then we get a government that is elected and pro-people. The reason why it is hard for him to go is one, he came in with a gun. It is not people that supported him to be in State House. Like the way we've chosen, we the people, we've chosen to galvanize ourselves, to collect ourselves, and get a leader who is Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, put him into State House. Should he not deliver, we the people who took him there, we shall be the people to call him out. Should we make a mistake and he goes in by the gun, it will become harder. We shall be dealing with another dictator. But one thing for sure, this time around we should get a peaceful transfer of power. It doesn't mean that we are going to wrap our arms around our chest and just say, Museveni, get out of State House. No, we have to demand for it with aggressiveness and enforce them to put in place a free and fair election. And we know even if it's not free and fair, still we shall win the election. The numbers are in our favor. We know we have around 17.8 million voters in Uganda. And by just the signs we saw in the recent concluded youth elections, special interest groups generally, you see that the country is ready for change. Previously, for like 3 occasions, we have not been hearing about these elections. Why? Because I don't know if the opposition has been sleeping. But they had left it for NRM to take as they please. But this time around, much as NUP is a new party, because my brother bear witness, NUP was unveiled to the public on the 22nd of July. Then nominations began the next day on 23rd. Imagine on 22nd you're becoming a party, then nominations for elections are beginning the next day. And we have around 68,000 villages across Uganda. We couldn't make the stamps and move them very quickly. Remember that organization that the NRA is doing. We couldn't sort that out quickly. But let this youth election be a learning experience. At least now we know the tricks. These people rule us because of propaganda. Because there are some districts where I performed so well, much as there are also districts where we didn't front so many candidates because of the constraints we talked about. But one thing you should be sure about, people are ready for change. And they are going to work to bring about that change. So, today basically our visit is to encourage you to hear some of the challenges you go through, for you also to hear some of the challenges we are going through. Somehow you lack this side, the intimidation is not as much as it is in Central. Because there is more deployment in Central compared to these parts, because police can't easily monitor these places. But then you find that every roundabout that is getting to the capital city, you find there are armored vehicles, 24/7 monitoring the situation, which means just even moving around in this area, it is more or less like a crime. So, if the security is lax this side, you guys have to work super extra hard, because for us in Central, the security is tougher. So comrades, we are here to encourage you that to overthrow a dictator is not simply a walkover. We have to make some sacrifices of effort. We have to contribute some. Let me tell you, the reason why you guys are suffering the most is because these people think people power belongs to you. Let me tell you, all of us here had to part away with something from our pockets. That's why all of us were fighting to make sure that the trip happens. Because each one contributed something. If the trip wasn't a success, everyone had something to lose. Likewise, each one of us, even if it is 100 shillings, even if it is 200 shillings, we should contribute something to this struggle. Because it is for all of us. Once we make a mistake and we think that it is his struggle individually, when we win, he will feel like he did it alone. He will feel like you guys don't have a stake in this. Therefore, you can't even hold him accountable. Because it's his money. It's their money. They're just like 4 or 5 of them. If each one of us contributes something, however small it might be, we shall have an equal stake in this. And if we have an equal stake, we shall make sure this thing succeeds. Therefore, I pray. Always when I get a chance to talk to comrades, I tell you the struggle needs 4 things to make this thing work. First of all, it needs knowledge. Knowledge, I would call it wisdom, can also call it experience. When you have knowledge, organization will be easier. You come up with ideals, you come up with schemes that will help you to organize and operate well. But even if you have the knowledge and you have no strength to put into practice what you've discussed and what you've put on paper, it won't be wasteful. The second thing you need is the energy, the strength to put into practice what you've thought about. Then thirdly, you need money, resources. Resources like that is human resource and then money. For all of you to travel and come here and congregate here, you will spend something. It might be 1,000 shillings, it might be 10,000 shillings, it might be 20 or 100,000 shillings. But the reason it has happened is because you've injected some money. And the last thing you need is time. If we are to keep Museveni out of power, we need to dedicate a lot of time to keeping him out. Some of us, it has become our daily business. You know, you are at work, but the only thing you're thinking about is the trip to Teeso, the trip to how am I going to help to weaken this man. So we should dedicate as much time. Because the problems we are facing because of bad leadership are also so many. So comrades, I encourage you, sacrifice those 4 things. I talked about knowledge, ideas. I've talked about strength. I've talked about money, which is resources. Then I've also talked about time. Then we shall progress. I don't want to speak alone because these people came with a note also down. They can speak, they know one thing or two. And maybe we are going to just highlight just one thing. The need to get involved in the electoral process. You know, our transition or our struggle is going to happen through elections. We're not just going to shout and say, and Museveni goes away. No, we have to challenge for leadership. Our president yesterday, when he was unveiling the new changes in the electoral management committee, he also unveiled something else that has skipped my mind. He talked about leadership, that we are going to challenge for it. We're not just going to sit here and say because people is a popular slogan or what, and people will elect us. No, we have to challenge. To challenge means being aggressive. We have to organize, and remember, we are dealing with a regime that came in with a gun and still calls itself National Resistance Movement. What are they resisting for these past 37 years? What do you think they're resisting? Let me hear some ideas. Why do you think they call themselves National Resistance Movement? Someone has an idea besides our coordinator and other guys. Who knows why they call themselves National Resistance Movement? Yes,
All answers are correct.
Yes. They are resisting the growth and growth of the nation to move forward. So they are there to bring us backward.
Brilliant answer. Addition.
They came with a gun, and they were amassed a lot of wealth. They are unwilling to leave. So they don't want to leave.
So these guys are resisting any positive change because for them they are comfortable. So if we are dealing with the National Resistance Movement, how do you think we are going to be? Because it means these guys are still rebels. In the bush, the National Resistance Army. Now it has become even bigger now, the National Resistance Movement, which means you have to be smarter. You have to organize in a very, very systematic manner. You have to go covert. Just like today we got here, no one knows that we are here, besides a few of us. So let us try as much as possible to be smart, to be covert, and mobilize and build numbers. And remember, these guys are going to use this flu that is happening. I don't want to use the other popular word, but they're using this flu that they tell us, you come to vote, after voting, you go away. Who are you going to leave your votes for? Who milks a cow and gives milk to a cat to take into the house? Can you make that mistake? No. But then, what are you going to do when a policeman and the returning officer tells you, you go after voting? Because the moment you make that mistake, forget your victory. The moment you make that mistake after voting, then you walk home like it has been before, we are going to become another. I don't want to say bad things about FDC, but we are going to become another FDC. Where the only slogan we have been rigged. And I've been speaking that for the past 4 times, 4 elections. Are we going to be like them? No. Something has to be unique about us. Because right from inception, everything about us is unique. The speed at which we are growing, the level of participation. This is my first time to actively participate in politics. I have a professional field where I belong, but I quit and I said, I'm not being left behind. I have to get involved. It is a generational responsibility for us to change the history of Uganda. Because our children and grandchildren are going to ask us, as these roads and schools are getting worse and dilapidated, what were you doing? What would be your response? So if we say we slept, so comrades, I challenge you. It is time for you to think of this as a business. It is a do or die mission. So the election that is coming is not just an election, it is a mission, as our president keeps saying. So I know all of you here are leaders. So as leaders, go back charged with a responsibility, knowing you are supposed to make sure that you win, not by 50% only. We can even shoot for 90%. It is possible. Everything you can imagine in your mind is as possible as you believe. Unless if you think we are here to joke. Comrades, I challenge you. Let us be serious and committed to this. It's going to be possible. We thought this would be we thought this maybe would be like an interactive session, but because of time, I don't want to overstretch it. However, I would love to give an opportunity. I don't know if I have the right, but I wanted to hear some of the questions which are different from what you already raised as issues, to see how best we can respond to them in the shortest time possible. So I think we'll guide us through.
How many do you think?
How many minutes do we still have?
Part of Kenya District, Secretary of Finance. And I'm also inspiring as Secretary of Human Affairs from my sub-county to the district.
Okay. That's good.
So my question is, I talked about security, that one is the first one. I'm contesting, and a lot of donations coming. The first thing I'm asking is the appointment from the party. I have a card, so it's one of my successful item or benefit from the party. But how sure am I when I'm contesting? Which support are you going to give the contestants, those ones who are contesting?
Okay.
Then secondly, they talked about the vision of someone who is in the party. My vision is to be a leader, that is number one. Number two is to raise the voice of the people who are oppressed behind me. So, my own emphasis is, which support are you giving us down? Because we are still down, so I need your support. That is the question I have. We have not yet decided on what exactly we are going to give you people, because you all know the finances are active, and it has been like on and on since we started. So we haven't decided yet, but we advise you people to, of course, come up with different kinds of resources. Find ways of getting the money. Find ways of getting where you can get your support from. Talk to your families, because even though we are going to give you, and we are not going to give you much, or we can't give you enough, because we also need. We are also collecting. Last time you saw us launching NUP Muda, we are asking for that 10K from you people. So that is showing you that you don't have money. We are requesting you to first find means of getting yourselves money. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and maybe to throw more light, I want you to see this. How much has been an NRM MP, a member of parliament aspirant, been paid to the NRM party to contest? Who knows how much? 2 million. How much people power candidates have they been paid? Free. Do you know why we want to take money out of this equation? Because NRM has managed the one is keeping my mind, to keep some people out of politics by injecting a lot of money into politics. How many of us here can raise 2 million to contest? How many here can represent Bukedea County in Parliament? Raise your hands. You see? Now you see the problem? The reason why people power are not charging anyone money as the leadership. First of all, you want to make this a people power, a people thing. It is people that are going to cause this change, not money. Because one is not happening when you don't have money. Let me tell you, when you have people, you can do anything. Even if we came here with $1 billion shillings without you people here, it wouldn't make sense. But if you came here as we are searching for change, and you found here 1 million Ugandans, Museveni wouldn't sleep in the State House tomorrow. So this is about people. This is the reason why it is called people power. Then about, you had an issue about becoming the flag bearer. Let's say you're contesting to be secretary. That is it, through the youth structures. Yeah. I think now you automatically are a flag bearer because you're already in the process. But maybe this goes to everyone contesting here. We are going to come up with guidelines on how flag bearers are going to be selected. Be a little bit patient, but maybe to tell you what is in the marking guide. Groundwork. How well have you set up structures on, and as an individual, how well have you mobilized and organized? Because going to Kamocha, I like my brother what he said. Staying at Kamocha and taking selfies with the president is not going to get you the flag or to be the official flag bearer, but the numbers you have on the ground, because we are people power. We are changing Uganda based on the power of the people. Not on how many photos you've taken with the president, not how many hours you've been at the secretariat. And I salute you, comrade, for choosing to always be here to mobilize and build these structures. That is the way to go. We are going to win this by numbers. I hope you sort it somehow. But don't expect, let me tell you this, don't expect money from people power. If it comes, it will be a bonus, to be a surplus, because let's say people power is now premised on one person, Robert Chagulani Center. His job was still a musician, but he has spent 3 years without working. Okay, he's in parliament. For the past 2 years, the people power movement has been moving, has been surviving almost entirely on his salary from parliament. So we'll be lying to ourselves when we say, if we say we are going to be giving each candidate money. From where? First of all, Museveni can't allow people to get as much donations as possible. It can't, he can't. The accounts will be blocked. The money won't come in. He wants to make sure that we are weak, because he knows if we are many and we get money, he's done. So what he's trying to see frustrates us that we should not have money. And if we don't have money, the work becomes harder. But what keeps us going? The resolve to push on. So we are not in this for money. If we make a mistake and we think it is for money, then we are done. One more question.
Thanks very much.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. From Suruti. For long, I've also been breathing in the heart for Bukeria personally. Bukeria has been manipulated. The leadership in Bukeria has not been good. I thank God last time when I was in Bala and I had the number of people who went through in NUP, even the few people who went through in Bukeria. For me personally, I have a question. You have talked about flag bearers, and you have talked about groundwork. Our friends in NRM are seriously doing what? Groundwork. And Mr. Koi said something like, let's stamping. That made us, that lagged us behind last time. So I hope you will not again make for us a big mistake this time when you are coming to give us like someone waiting to give what?
Becoming a flag bearer.
Becoming a flag bearer.
Okay.
Because right now, some of us already, we want some big posts around the district. But now, if we have kept along, some of us actually have applied online. There's a form online that we applied. But we are waiting and there's no response. So shall we again wait for until last minute and we cannot do groundwork? I know some of us have, because resources are few.
Okay.
So that was my question.
Thank you so much. Let him respond.
Full power. We had a format. We had a format of the form that read people power. Altogether, when we culminated into the political party NUP, we now have a new form. Okay? That reads National Inter-Platform for candidates. Now, if you filled the old form and you still think that maybe you've not got a response, we got the form also recently, like 2 days ago. So we should be able to disperse the new form to the district coordinator. The new form, we now have that in Sororo. We had to do the re-editing because it looked a little bit funny, but now it's looking good. So we shall send it to the district team. These guys will find it the same way they have found it today, but expect that form tomorrow in Bukeria. And the response will come shortly. The stamp for the district is here, not in Kampala. Actually, it is one thing to fill the forms, and it's also one thing to be clear to contest.
Yeah.
And your contesting as a flag bearer is not going to be primaries. It's going to be anchored on what you've done. Because one, before Chabla benefits from the structure in Bukeria, it is first going to benefit you who is contesting here. So go work hard, because Chabalani will only get one vote from you, only one. But then the rest will come for you. So go work, establish the structure, and then the rest of the things will come in, surely. By the way, you have an advantage. The nominations were pushed from 7th of September. They're beginning to nominate candidates on the 27th for local councils. So we still have some small time. So the forms are there. Thank you.
People power. Our power. People power. NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Chaplain, am I president? People power. Our power. People power.
Our power. Mu Lweno wamwe Teeso mugamba mutya? Ekigambo people power mu Lweno? Muganda wange gwe wenna atulaba, matiriyo ono era nga bw'omulaba nti yaleeteddwa okubeera nga tugabira era nga mu different meetings tugenda kubeera nga tulekawo matiriyo within locals basobole okubeera nga bamudistributinga mu bitundu ebisigadde byonna ewaabwe okusobola okugamba mu abagamba tunaye nga tutuuse mu kitundu kyeno matiriyo nga tali mu bitundu byeno, so ekyo nno kyetugezaako okusiiga bano abasajja tubalage nti people power. Honorable Kyagulanyi ali mu buli kifo.
To send to you people. Because one of the reasons we came was first of all to deliver this. We don't want to go around the villages pinning this on the trees because we don't know this place. And you know the right places where these things are supposed to be. Secondly, as leaders, you can't just go telling people, we need change, we are for people who are with nothing. That's why we believe, I know that the district leader will find out distributing these materials according to the sub-counties in this region. We know they are very little, but please accept them humbly. And we promise, by God's grace, if we get some more money, we are going to bring and at least send by bus some more materials from Kedia district and Kedia county. So please accept this as we progress. But more importantly, in case you need more, we will talk to the coordinator and we shall see how we can support the team. So thank you so much for your time and for loving the change that you are working for. And it will happen. Have faith. God bless you. And as we open with a prayer, how I pray, we close with a prayer. Isaac, it was a gentleman who prayed.
We want to close with a prayer. Chikota nyakati ne wakadeke bobo aibuses. Anungesi aspedore ni adawulu. Wangini alilinki jakandis elibata. Jala maja kadekelo jasu makuti na kafu. Kota majo anapara na lolo weka kadekelo laura. Because kabaka yala maso anu jaspedore so amor nimoro sho kere nyakakino jaibu. Papa yang adoja koni buses. Weka waka ingarenikina show. Jen show bonwe geo show. Kwenye mamswe pedoria raima mejo. Ona nasha show wake na titing. Darai show weka dekelo ka launa. Kosti jokolo apote titinkin kesa kanikon. Nyaka kes tumoroti nikache kere odolote jok weka dekelo ka launa. Papa ilipi nukilo kroko konje spese kwa sika kaiti. Amen. Yala mabere. Ngomun gomoso.
Coordinator, wano tuli mu kitundu ki tulaba ayagala okumanya ekitundu kino
kyetulimu Kedia district Koyena sub-county Katekwana village in Teeso.
In Teeso.
Thank you.
So we branch from where? From the main road?
Kachumbara.
Kachumbara.
Main road that goes to Soroti.
Yeah. Kachumbara.
Yeah.
Okay, gwe na trouble mulabi waffe. Twakyamidde Kachumbara. Mpaka wano bayitawo wa?
Katekwana village.
Katekwana? Katekwana.
Yes.
Okay.
Koyena sub-county.
All right. Toyanza nnyo tweyanzeege gwe wenna abadde atugoberera. kuva gye twatandikidde mpaka we tusembedde abantu baagala change, Uganda ekkiriza baagala change. So n'olwekyo tubasabye mwe mwenna mubadde mukimanyi embeera eya posters muze mukyogera naffe gye tuyita eyo nti ebipande bya NRM nga bingi naye twetaaga matiriyo. Kyenyinza okugamba twetaaga matiriyo owa kalenda ne poster. Ba coordinators bano abasajja bano abagende mu field okunnyonnyola ba locals nga waliyo ku matiriyo bagenda ng'olyamuwa kalenda ng'amulaga Kyagulanyi bw'afaanana. Eyo nno ye message gye twagala okutambuza. N'enkola eri eya dowa to dowa nga tugenda ku muntu nayo weeri naye ante ffe nga PP Front twakitegeera ne tukiraba nti nno eno enkola ey'okugenda ne tukwatagana ne ba coordinator ne bakwatagana ne tukwatagana ne structures ze bazimbye ne twenyumyamu ne tuba empowering with posters calendars basobola okugenda mu ba locals baabwe nga nabo balinamu amaanyi kubanga ng'Omuganda bw'agamba nti omuntu basanyukira yeetisse. Eyo nno yenkola gye tubeera nga twagala. So bagenda kubeera bo nga bagenda mu field nga basomesa aba locals nga babalaga Kyagulanyi babategeeza manvuuli. Yes, awo omulimu gujja kuba gutambula. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Tujja kuba katugende ante mu meeting endala nawo tulabe mbeera nga bw'eneetambula. Twejjukanye.